Hey, it's Andrew Brown from Exam Pro, and in this follow along, I want to show you Google's App Engine, which allows you to easily deploy web applications. So in the top left corner, we'll go all the way up here to the navigation menu, and we'll scroll on down looking for App Engine, which appears under Serverless. So we'll go there. We'll go ahead and create ourselves a new application, and the first thing we're going to see is a bunch of regions we can choose from. I like to always choose from Canada. So what I'll do is try to find my region if it is available. It might not be, which is totally fine. And I don't think I'm going to get Canada today. So I'll just go with US East 1. So let's zoom in on this map here. Oh, no, there's Canada. There we go. North America Northeast 1. Great. So we'll go next. And we'll give it a moment to load. It's just thinking really hard there. Thinking really hard. And I cannot tell if it's frozen. So what I'm going to do is just give it a hard refresh here, see if that helps at all. All right, so I just had to give it a hard refresh there in order for this to actually show up. But what I want you to do is go down and we'll choose our runtime to be a Ruby because that's what I know and love. And we have the option between standard and flexible. For the exam, you definitely want to know the difference. For this follow along, not a big deal. We're going to stick with standard here today. And the great thing is they do have some samples here on GitHub. So what I'm going to do is right click here and just take a look here at what they have. And they've got a bunch of different stuff here. And so what I'm thinking is we can open up our Cloud Shell. So I'm going to open up Cloud Shell here at the top. And it actually has an editor mode. I haven't really given this a go, so let's try it out. I know what it looks like. It's like VS Code, but I'm just saying I haven't done a big workload in here yet, so I'm kind of curious. And we'll let that load up. And oh yeah, there's me doing some BigQuery stuff from earlier. But what I'm going to do, yeah, see, I was just doing a quick test there. But what I'm going to do here is bring in a new repo. So here, source control, I don't really use VS Code, but usually you can go here and press this button here. And that's not really helping. So that's fine. We'll open up the terminal. It's not a big deal. And I'm just going to do ls pwd to see where I am. So I'm in my home directory. And here it's going to ask me to do a git clone. So I should be able to clone this. And we'll hit enter. And so now we have all those samples. So the question is, and here down below it says App Engine, /App Engine, whatever. What I noticed is that there is no folder called App Engine. So which one will be run? Well, intuitively, I would pick something like Rails or maybe Sinatra. So maybe they have a very simple example. They also have static files, so they have Sinatra and Rails, but they have an hello world example here, and if we click into it, it is Sinatra. So I feel that this will probably be the easiest way to deploy. And then we have our app YAML file. That's actually how we configure most, like whether it's App Engine, Elastic Beanstalk, or Azure App Services, they always have like this accompanying configuration file that you can use with it. I'm noticing that this is set to Flex. So maybe we might want to use Flex mode. And to me, it doesn't really matter whether it's standard or flexible. So maybe we'll just switch it over to flexible here. And what I'll do, is, it says Initialize Deploy. So what I'll do is I'll just cd into that hello world directory here. Oh, we got to first cd into our Ruby docs and then into our hello world directory. Oh, look at that. Now there is a, there's an App Engine right here. Maybe we're already in that folder. Oh, okay, that's why. So we'll do App Engine and then we'll do hello world. Okay. And so we'll probably have to do a bundle install. So we'll just do a bundle install. Gem file cannot be required. You have etc. It could be just because this machine doesn't have Ruby installed. So maybe we'll do gem install bundler. Actually, I didn't even check if this has Ruby. Does this have Ruby installed? Yeah, it does. Okay. And actually, it's a very recent version. So we'll do gem install bundler. It's really not even necessary to do this, but it's just out of habit. I like to make sure that it bundles before deploying. Bundler is just like requirements.txt or npm. It's just Ruby's package manager, or Composer if you're used to using PHP. And so then I can just do a bundle install after install the packages. Did I not just install bundler? Gem install bundler. Yep, it's installed. Bundle install. I'm not really that worried about getting it running locally. I just want to deploy it. And so in order to deploy it, we will have to run the gcloud app deploy command. We'll just double check and make sure that's the case here. I'm pretty sure that's what it says down below. Yeah, it's just as simple as this. So hopefully this works no problem. And I'll authorize it with gcloud. If you're installing this locally, you probably use gcloud init to authenticate. It's giving us some details here. It's really hard to read this on white on black, or black on white there, but let's see what it's doing. So we have a description. It's going to tell us the source. It's going to show us the target URL where it's going to deploy. App Engine default service account sounds good to me. So we'll hit Y for yes, and we'll let it go ahead and provision. Probably the most simple out of all the providers in terms of like a platform as a service, I would say GCP is out of all the three. Great, and so if you just take a look there, you can tell it's actually building out a containerized image, so it gives you the idea that this is running off of containers. Also noticing that it's setting up Cloud SQL and Cloud SQL proxy, so I would suppose if it needed to be backed by a database, this shouldn't require a database. We'll just take a look here. Maybe the configuration, it has that in there. Nope, it just says environments, flex, runtime, Ruby, resources, memory, disk size, etc. So I'm not sure why it's spinning up a relational database there, but and this doesn't even have one, but maybe that's just part of what it does. Okay. So we'll just have to wait here a little bit of while, and I'll see you back here in a moment. Okay. All right, and so after a little while there, we can see there's a cloud build fail. It doesn't say as to why. Hold on here. You have added gem, etc. I know Ruby pretty well, so for me, it's not hard to figure out as to why. But it looks like we're going to have to go check the logs. So I'm not sure where the logs are, so just give me a moment. I'll go figure that out, okay? All right, so what I did here is I went down below and I opened up this link. Which brings us to our build details. And if we scroll all the way down to the bottom, notice how many steps it's out of, 11 out of 14. So this is actually building the container image. And when it went and did a bundle install, it ran into some trouble here. So you are trying to install in deployment mode after changing your gem file. Run bundle install elsewhere and add the updated gem file.lock to the version control. So I think maybe we just have to get that bundle installed to work. So what I'll do is go back here to my editor. I really wish I could figure out how to change the theme here. Is there a way we can change the theme so I can see what I'm looking at? I'm not sure. Maybe settings, color theme, and we will go Abyss. Oh, there we go. That's a little bit better, so we'll work with that, I suppose. So maybe we just need to make sure that the bundle install works, which is something I try to just get around, but if there's no gemlock file, that's what it's probably going to be complaining about. So if I just expand this here, yeah, notice there's no gemfile.lock or gemlock file. So we'll do bundle install, and this time we'll just be a bit more thorough about its read. So could not find bundler required by your home directory to update the latest version installed in your system. Do bundle update bundler. So we'll do bundle update bundler. Let's see if that works. I would have thought that we were up to the latest version because we ran it. The lock file is being updated to bundler 2, after which you will be unable to return to bundler 1. Totally fine with that. Nobody uses bundler 1 anymore. But if we take a look here on the left-hand side, I don't see bundler gemlock file there, so I'll do bundle install. And so now I should have one. We have to hit refresh here. Still don't see one here. Let's do a clear. and I'll do a ls-la. Yeah, it's right there. So, oh, you know why? It's because I'm not looking in the subfolder here. So we're supposed to go app engine, hello world. And so there's that gemlock file. So now let's go ahead and try that deploy again. I don't know what happens when you have a failed deploy like that. So we'll just hit enter. And I wonder if anything has changed here with app engine. Probably not. You probably have to do a successful deploy. While that's going, let's go take a look here what was going on through our build history. So nothing exciting here, but I wanted to see what the services was. So it was doing it through Cloud Build. So Cloud Build, I imagine it's just like AWS Code Build, which is just a build server. So it's a server that is designed to build things. And so that could be preparing artifacts for code, or in this case, it could be building out a image, which I think that's what it was doing, was building out an image. So that's interesting how they link that up. So we'll go ahead and hit capital Y here, and we'll let it go and deploy again. And I will see you here at the end of it, and hopefully it works, or, you know, we'll encounter a new error, okay? All right, so after waiting several minutes here, it looks like it is done. And it has this nice command here called gcloud app browse. I don't know if it's going to work within the Google Cloud Shell here, but let's give it a go and see what happens. Okay, so it didn't detect a browser because we're not running it on our local machine. We're running it within the Google Shell, but that's fine. We can just copy that link and paste it up on here. And so we can see the application is working. So let's go give it a peek in the actual service and see what we can see, okay? Because usually we will see some additional stuff here. So I'll go give this a hard refresh here. It's still showing us that. We'll go ahead and click the dashboard here. And so our app should be here. Looks like it must be running here. I'm just trying to distinguish, okay, up in the top right corner, that's where we can see it. We can see our versioning here. We've got services. Okay, that makes sense. If we wanted to upload different versions, or we deploy new versions, I guess it would be version management. So yeah, pretty straightforward. So I'd say we're all done here. And now we just need to go ahead and tear this down. Good question. So I mean, I see this running here, so I imagine we can just go ahead and delete it. Whoops. I have no idea how we should delete this, so just give me a second and I'll figure this out, okay? All right, so it looks like we don't delete app engines, we just disable them. So let's go ahead here and click on disable, and we will enter this key in here, okay? And so that should disable it. So why they don't let you delete them, I do not know why. But I mean, that's totally fine as long as we're not getting billed. So here it says your app has been currently disabled, okay? So yeah, there we go. So we'll just make our way back here and move on to the next service.